What up, Scream fans? Today I thought I would do a Scream 7 review. For some reason, because people like watching review videos, I guess. I don't know. And in case you missed it on the cover, there will be spoilers in this video. I would like to start off and say I apologize about some of the bad quality stuff in this. There wasn't a whole lot of footage for Scream 7 that I could get. I mean, I could have got a supporting the local economy version, but I doubt it would look good. And of course, we shouldn't do that anyway. Now let's go back to the beginning of the movie. Some of the scenes in this movie were absolutely hilarious. This guy here dresses up as Ghostface to prank his girlfriend or wife because she was bored. Well, he ends up getting hit in the nose. He was like, "What the heck?" And then Ghostface actually shows up and kills both of them. This was definitely one of the goriest Scream movies I've seen. I mean, the kills were great and everything, but I don't know. I feel like this scene here would have hurt Ghostface too. And with all great Scream movies, it all starts with one phone call and anarchy. Now, one of the worst characters, in my opinion, is Sidney Prescott's daughter, Tatum. She was the usual basic teenager in any horror movie where it's like, well, I can do this, I can do that, you don't trust me, blah, blah, blah. She needed to get stabbed. She was just such a little. And something I really enjoyed on Scream 7 is that there were three ghost faces. Also, Sydney has this really awesome house. It's got like this tunnel in the wall, as you see here in the video. She's got like this secure room with a gun and all sorts of cool stuff in there, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, one of the Ghostface end up making their way to Tatum's school where one of Tatum's friends gets brutally and quite very gorily murdered. Like organs fell out and everything. It was crazy. Another thing I liked in Scream 7 is there was actually another guy who wasn't Dewey, because Dewey's dead now, who could actually put up a good fight. I mean, yeah, of course he's the chief of police, so they had to make him a really good character, but they didn't make him suck either, so that's always nice. Another funny part to this movie is Ghostface ends up outside and onto the street. Well, Gale Weathers just comes in a car and literally runs him over, which I thought was hilarious. You do get to see a lot of Stu in this movie, and they did such a good job on him. It actually looks like he had a TV fall on him and just everything, all the scars stayed with him for years. And to my forever disappointment and massive spoiler, Stu was not real. He was AI in the movie. He was no killer. He wasn't even alive. It's actually really funny because Gale Weathers asks this kid if he knows anything about AI, and he's like, no, that is humanity's downfall. The killers in this Scream movie had to have been the dumbest out of all of them. Mainly the mastermind behind all of it, who was none other than Sydney's neighbor. What's her face? She became a killer out of an abusive marriage where Sydney Prescott wrote a book and she read it and she decided to break free from her abusive marriage and kill her husband, which is absolutely deserved. People shouldn't do that. And then Sydney moves away somewhere far, and Miss What's Her Face felt like she needed Sydney in her life. I don't know. She's top tier stupid in my opinion. Well, she gets mad and everything at Sydney, and she eventually goes to this mental place or whatever where she meets this guy, Mr. What's His Face. And when Sydney comes back, that's when the murders start to escalate a lot. I don't know, the reveal to me was just really disappointing because they set up all of this stuff that made it look like Stu was back and alive, but he wasn't. It was just disappointing to me. Oh yeah, the cop that was mentioned earlier is Sydney's husband, by the way. While me and my dad were in the theater, I looked at him and told him, "He's totally gonna die." And then the cop later on gets jumped and stabbed and nearly suffocated. But no, he ended up living, so I was wrong. And at the end of this movie, there was this old lady who was like, "That movie sucked." And I was just like, and to all of you wondering, no, I did not actually say that to her. But it was such a phenomenal movie. So many people died, and the emotional scarring and physical scarring and the trauma will stay with these people for the rest of their natural lives, never knowing if it'll ever happen to them again. Still kind of wish she got stabbed though. Dumb. But that'll wrap up today's video. Let me know if you guys have seen the movie and what you think. Live long and prosper. May the Lord be with you. Stay awesome. And be wary of unknown callers.